With Tom Wade, we're up to the fourth qualifying round of the 2014-15 FA Cup run. Leek away, Tom. Now, there's a few stories on that game. It first starts with how we got there as a team and team coach.
How long you got? Right, so Leek is anybody that's been to Leek, it's a hike. It's a horrible place to get to. So we'll come prepared. Scotty had his, Kevin Scott, the vice chairman, had his map, which he always gets off Google Earth.
Then the driver, isn't he?
And then he's next to the driver, and the driver is here. And then there's Tony with his own other map.
Tony Platten,
the other chairman, with his other map. Totally different to what Kevin's got. And you've got the driver. So we're heading up the Leek. We're late getting down.
Yeah, we're delayed on the road.
Oh, delayed on the road. So we've got near Leek.
Yes, very near.
So we're driving down the road, and there's a sign, big massive sign on the left hand side, Leek Town Football Club. So for some reason we bypassed that, and then we got up the road, and then Scotty shouted to the driver, right, and the driver said, no, right, and he's actually pointing right, and then Tony's saying, no, it's left and straight ahead. No. So the driver went right, and we ended up in the council estate.
Yeah. Up a hill, wasn't it?
Up a hill, council estate, without any, which is not made for buses, obviously. No. Everybody's dual parked. So we get to the council estate now. By this time it's about 2:30.
Yes,
so we had to get people to move the cars. The bus couldn't turn around in the streets. Had to knock on people's doors to get cars to move, and it took 15 minutes to get out of that little estate. People were looking at me thinking, what the hell's going on here? It was like a novelty for the estate. There was people coming up and taking photographs, and it was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. So we eventually got out, come back on the main road, past the sign again for Leek Town, and I'm thinking, can I make this up? So I had to turn around again, and then eventually got Leek Town at 5 to 3, I think it was. Yeah. So I pulls up Leek Town. Supporters are looking. There were supporters looking and thinking, "What the hell's going on?" 3 o'clock. Where you been? So we got out of the bus. Sport the ref. She's got 10 minutes. So I says, "We'll go have more than that." He said, "Well, I'll give you 15." So before that, we had a meeting with Colin. Colin had a friend down that area. Colin worked for the English colleges.
Yeah, this is Colin Myers.
So Colin worked for English. So he had somebody reporting on him. So he said, "Look, we had picked a side." He said, "Look, they've got this centre midfield player. He's little and very mobile, runs the game. So he's outstanding. So you need somebody mobile and little and like of that pace on him." So we had really playing centre midfield, who was like sort of our holding midfield player. So I had a chat with him on the Thursday and said, "Look, we've heard this. We're going to have to put you on the bench for this game." So we dropped Weary and played Damon Mullen, who's an excellent player, by the way. So it wasn't really a hardship. Mullen comes in, and that was the only change we had. We got there, we started warm up. They did an extra warm up, and I'm looking for this little player, and I'm thinking, I can't see any. They're all about 6'2", they're massive. And then when we're walking off, because we had to walk off and we hadn't done enough time to do any tactics. We did a couple of warm ups, and then I'm walking off and said to Colin, "Where's this guy? Where's the centre midfield player? I can't see him anywhere." "Oh, he must be injured." I'm thinking, "Oh, right." So this guy then walked by. He was like 6'3", and he was built like Tarzan. He was absolutely enormous. And I said, "Look at the size of him." So we come out for the game, and he was a centre midfield player. He was like Goliath. He was a bit like Keith Houghton at Blythe.
Oh yeah, back in
like
the 70s,
proper
80s, yeah.
bloke. He had proper. He just looked like a man, So Damon was coming up with his chest, and he was winning everything. He won the lot, and it wasn't Damon's fault. Damon, when on the ball, was brilliant. And Damon's very tenacious, and he gets in, but just size difference was unbelievable. So he won every header, whereas in the past we would win the headers, and I had another guy up front, number 10. I can't remember his name now, but he was absolutely outstanding. What's that player? I think he scored 2 goals for them. So we got battered, and we were lucky to come in at 3-0 down. very, very lucky. The game could have finished 5 or 6 first half.
We weren't in it at all, as I remember.
No, the first half we were absolutely disgusting. We were, and you can understand why. Preparation was terrible.
Yep.
We didn't have any tactics. We just didn't have a time to put them right, and obviously we thought they play a certain way. They played a totally different other way. This guy was like enormous. He's absolutely enormous. So we were lucky to be 3-0 down.
In the second half.
The second half, we came in half time. I said to Colin, look, you need to get some shape in them. So I let Colin do his spiel about tactics and shape. And there's sometimes in life you've got to kick off. And the players had probably never seen us angry or they'd never seen that side of us till that time. It was very quiet. Colin was doing his tactics and it was quiet, and it needed some energy put into it. So I just chucked this tactics board, I just chucked it across the floor and laid into them, and in a way that I wanted a response off them.
Yeah. And
it wasn't a matter of, we'll just change it. It needed some energy put in them, some aggression put in them.
Yes.
So I kicked off a bit, and it was all staged. It wasn't something I was always going to do it.
Yeah.
And it was, the bottom line was, do you believe you can win it? Do you believe you can do it? And then we were kicking down a little bit of a bank at that time, second half. And do you believe in it? Because you've had a terrible journey on the bus. That's against you. We've come here, the referee's only going to be 15 minutes to warm up. Everything's against you. They think they've won the game. We need to put some blind spirit in the game, and the supporters have travelled a long way down to see you. Just don't let yourself down the second half, because we could have went and got beat 6-0, 7-0.
It looked that way at half time. It's going to end up like that, yeah.
I was tempted to bring Weary on, but I just thought, no, look, let's give them a chance, because bringing Matty on would only have consolidated their centre midfield player, wouldn't have got me going forward. And then obviously Stephen Turnbull, Robbie Dale got the game by the scruff of the neck. Neil Hooks was playing absolutely outstanding. The second half was probably the best second half we've ever played under my tenure, and they were superb. And it was down to them. It was down to them. Well, I said, we can't do it for you. You can only do it yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. Look at the supporters when you go on there. You're going to be playing into the supporters. Just give it everything you can. And I remember Stephen Turnbull scoring a scrappy goal. He said it was the best goal he's ever scored. It was a scrappy goal.
Deflection.
Deflection, about 3 deflections went in. And he come over and he's so infectious that he just, he does got on a bit like, but he was so infectious that it just boosted everybody.
Yeah.
So 4-3, playing really well, but they had a centre forward who was. He was a cult. He was their cult. I think it was his 400th or 500th game or something for them, and he was a cult player for them. He was a really. And I spoke after the game in the bar, and he was such a proper bloke,
Yeah.
So there was I think it was Danny Parker, might have been. It was either Jordan Watts and Danny Parker. Went a challenge in the box. Give a penalty. It was never a penalty. Never in a million zillion years.
On?
It was late on, 89th minute. It was the last kickings of the game. And I'll be honest with you, if we had conceded, it would have been a fair result. They deserved it. And I'll come at their management after in a minute. But they were. So this guy who was a legend, but a bit like a Robbie Dale at Blanc.
Yes.
He was a legend at Leek, and never a penalty. Huge amount of pressure. There's a good crowd. And just think about what's going in his mind. It's a bit like Gordon's penalty against Everton. There's a lot physically going in your mind.
Yeah.
And he took the penalty. and I remember turning up at Colin, he's going to miss this. Like,
really?
Just the build-up, everything about him, his body language, the way he was, just everything about that. He's going to miss. He's going to miss. I'm telling you, he's going to miss this. And it went over the bar, and it went over the stand, and it went over the car park.
It did.
And I just, when you feel for people, we were running around like idiots. And I just, there's time when you just feel for people, and I just felt for the guy because they deserved the draw. They deserved to come back to our place. They probably deserved to win it in the first half. And I just fell for the guy, and the referee played a bit at 5 minutes extra, but they were gone. 1-4-3. You know, we were running like idiots, and I always tried to go to the manager before we scream and shout. Went to management, great people, absolutely top people. And they said, oh, you know, the great game, you know, well done, good at the next round. It was genuine. Now, and I went, and we were all running around. I went out there, centre forward, and he was crying loud. I just felt
really?
It's a horrible experience, because you're always going to go through it yourself. It's something.
Yes.
As a manager or a player or whatever. I just felt for him. Very good side, really exceptional side. And then obviously, it was just a very emotional game. Our guys went
incredible.
It was
all sorts of emotions, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very, very. And Mark Carrer's come to interviews, and I was a bit emotional myself as well. You know, you went through so much.
Yeah,
from the day we got on the bus to the time when we finished was just a roller coaster. I was drained. I was absolutely drained. But after the game, went to their clubhouse, we sat with their management. All the players sat amongst each other, and it was just that was non-league football. Everybody sat round. Players, I sat with their managers for a bit, bought them some drinks, and I've spoken ever since, you know, and I still keep in touch now. It just two great clubs just getting together. Game was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable game. You could talk for hours about the game. Neil Hooks was outstanding.
Scored one of the goals.
Scored a goal, but he just outstanding. And you know, one player that probably didn't get enough game time was Hooksy, and I had him at Blue Star when he was at Blue Star, and he didn't get much game time at Blue Star. He was an elegant player.
He was very he moved so elegantly, didn't he, on the pitch?
He was
much stronger and more about him than he first looks.
He was a brilliant player, and probably the level we were at, as in playing level, at the league level, he would have been a revelation higher up, conference level.
Yeah,
and
a bit more time and space and better pitches. Yeah,
proper footballer. And when he played for Michael Tate in Mickey Tate's team, he was absolutely rebel. He was absolutely outstanding. Yeah. So, you know, one regret, I didn't give him enough game time. But be honest, he took it well, and he was always a positive guy. If he was playing on the bench, he was always amongst the players and encouragement. Great pro. But he had a game of his life, you know. He was absolutely outstanding. Supporters were absolutely brilliant. And I think a lot of supporters were emotional after the game as well, you know. So, very special time in the club's history, and it's one of them games that I'll live with forever, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting that what you say, because we remember the big games we do as Spartans fans over the years, as well as the games we're coming to in this cup run. But a game like Leek sometimes was under the radar. But everything you've talked about, being proper non-league football, proper clubs, proper people. Getting on together and playing hard against each other, then getting on together. It's something quite unique.
It's something that Blythe Spartans have an identity as a non-league team, and it suits the club. It suits the history of the club and the story of the club, being a hugely respected non-league club throughout the country. Throughout anywhere you go to, everybody knows Blythe Spartans. Leek Town are a similar type of club. They've got great history. And when you get two juggernauts of non-league football playing against each other and having respect for each other is I think it's what the game's all about, you know. Maybe that's what the game's losing now. That sort of respect for each club, you know. Yes. And it's not the same as it used to be, because the game's trying to get more professional. Mm-hmm. But these are the non-league, the way non-league clubs are run, and you can feel it, you can taste it when you're in the change rooms. You feel like it's a proper game of football, you know, and that was it. The two games, Leek, Skelmersdale, were probably two games that live with me forever, you know.
Yeah. So we came away with a 4-3
win,
win, ready to go into the first round proper, and we'll come to that next time.
Yeah.